Hello everybody in YouTube land. This is Randy Gillian and I'm doing a video response to 49er Nation and 1, his final question of the question series. Now, this is my very first response that I'm doing right now. And I thought I'd do it for the hell of it. Because he just reminded me and I just completely phased it out. I actually watched him, but I never actually had the time to get behind by a camera and film myself, not until now. So let's get started. I'm kind of excited for this question. He's asked question 35. What would you be a part of? What community would you join and be a part of if the retro gaming community ceased to exist? That's a very good question. And let me dig into it. If there were no retro game community and I had to choose one, I would definitely be a part of the UFO community. Hell yeah. And now let me get into this. I've always been fascinated by aliens and UFOs throughout my whole childhood. Ever since I saw The Communion, starring Christopher Walken. Now, if you don't know who Christopher Walken is, you gotta look him up. And actually go into YouTube search bar and search for Communion. Because it's actually on YouTube, the whole entire movie. It's not in parts, the whole freaking movie's on YouTube. And you could download, you will not download, but you could watch it for free on YouTube. So that's what I recently did. I did a couple months back, I think in October. Yeah, in October I went and watched it again. I revisited The Communion. And I'll tell you, when I was a kid, that movie scared the living shit out of me. And there was one particular scene that frightened me. Especially late at night. Because this was on cable TV. And it was late at night, I was all by myself. I was real young, I was a little kid. And you know, I was so scared that this one scene, I'm telling you. Okay, the scene's Christopher Walken. He's sitting alone in his house. And he's just sitting in a dark room. He looks around and he sees an alien peeking out at the window. Now that scared me, seeing that alien in its eyes. Its big black eyes and its bulbous head. Well, I was so frightened. I looked out that window and I actually imagined that there were things looking at me. I was always making sure that nothing was looking back at me. That's how frightened I was. Anyhow, I revisited that movie. I watched it on YouTube, the whole thing. And I had a good time watching it, but it didn't have the same effect as when I was a kid. Watching it as an adult, I was like, really? That scared me? Just go ahead and watch it. I mean, the aliens in that movie look really plastic and cheap. They actually do look like toys that are held on by strings. And they're like this. They look so fake. I mean, the props of those aliens, the grays, I mean, it probably cost them like $10 or $5. Because, I mean, they were so awful looking. So cheap looking. I can't believe that scared me, but... Anyhow, see, aliens always fascinated me watching that. And that whole movie was about Whitney Strieber, who's actually a UFO investigator. He wrote books. He's an author. He wrote the book The Communion, because that movie is actually based off the novel The Communion. And it was actually based off his life and how his experience and how he got abducted by aliens. Supposedly. Because I'm still a skeptic. I don't believe in aliens, but it's really fascinating. I like listening about this. And you know, throughout the 90s I was really into aliens, like I said. I remember seeing on the news the face on Mars. That was scary. And then seeing the alien autopsy video on Fox. And of course that's fake, but it was still pretty freaky. And now there's still more shit going on with aliens. Recently, probably in the early 2000s, there's this cult going on. And it's still going on. They're called Raelians, and they believe in cloning, and they believe that the guy, the cult leader Rael, that he got abducted by aliens, and now he's sending the message, and they have sensual meditations and all this and that, and so yeah, there's actually a cult going on called the Raelians. I mean, oh man, so there's still alien stuff going on all the times. And just looking on YouTube for aliens, I saw that they had supposedly a stolen video from the government that showed an alien getting interviewed. He was interviewing this government official telepathically. And of course they took out all the audio, and the guy who was actually showing this top secret video, they had to black him out and disguise his voice. But yeah, that was a very recent one. Probably most likely a hoax. But man, aliens are so cool and fascinating, man. I'm really into them. I don't believe in them, but I just like watching stuff, you know. Watching that movie Independence Day as a kid, that was real cool. So yeah, aliens are awesome, and I definitely want to join a UFO community to talk to people about aliens. And then recently I found this show, but I watch on YouTube, it's UFO Hunters. Now that's cool. I enjoy watching that. They talk about, they basically talk about people like a UFO site, like the Phoenix Lights. And then they'll try to do the experiment, actually shoot what the government says are flares. And so they would shoot off these high intensity flares and try to replicate the Phoenix Lights. So that's very cool, and you actually get to see, you get to compare the footage of the Phoenix Lights and actually see their experimentation of it. So I love watching UFO Hunters. So definitely that's my answer. I'd be a part of that UFO community in a heartbeat, because I like talking about it, and I like, you know, looking into stuff like that. Very fascinating. So yes, so 49er Nation 1. That is my answer to you. And yes, I wish you a late Merry Christmas, and of course a Happy New Year that's coming up. And congratulations on the marriage. I hope that that you guys have a long life together. You know, that's very cool. And hello, Catherine. And so that's my answer, and I guess I get one entry into your contest, I guess. But yeah. So yes, this is Randy Gillian. I'm back, and this is my video response. And definitely check out 49er Nation 1, and keep it retro. And I'll see you guys next time. Now I have to go, and I'll see you guys next time. Yeah.